and welcome to episode 3 of the Napoleonic Order. Today we're going to be covering the result of France's victory in the conflict, and the political situation afterwards, as well as the new war that starts up around the 1830s in the Middle East and Africa. But regardless of that, first I'm gonna cover some channel stuff. So the only real thing that I want to say is that I'm planning to make some thumbnails for the videos. It's not just auto generated. I'm planning to add an actual thumbnail into the videos. So watch out for that. But anyways, without further ado, let's get into the thing. So, as you can see, France kind of did a nasty piece of work with the 6th Coalition. Yeah. They destroyed Prussia, and they pushed back Russia significantly. But, Europe remains in relative peace until the 1830s, other than France invading off-continent territories like Africa and America, such as a French invasion of Canada using Quebec loyalists to the French Empire to take over Canada and effectively establish it as a temporary as a colonial administration. So yeah. Along with this, France begins invasions into Africa and has seized some territories there. But there's not a lot going on. Sweden has started to distance themselves from the French bloc, but overall things are stable. But things were about to change by the 1830s. You see, the Ottoman Empire, they don't really like French's hegemony. The French's hegemony, they don't really like it. So, they're not very friendly with the French. Things enter a whole new level in 1830. Skirmishes occur in the Adriatic between the Ottomans and the French navies, and then France gets extremely angry at this. So they do the rational thing and decide to declare war on the Ottomans. So begins the Franco-Ottoman War. Alright then, so let's just get right into it then. So first of all, French forces are going to start off the conflict by invading Algeria. They besiege Algiers and begin advances along Algeria coastline. So with that, French forces kind of advance forward and they capture Tunis. So for reference, this conflict, as I've planned this out, this conflict begins basically on the 1st of January in 1830. It's I'd say May when Tunis falls. But anyways, French forces just kind of decimate them. Morocco decides to join France to gain some territory. So they gain a little bit. But not a lot. And then obviously French forces cut down and capture several regions in Algeria. So the Ottoman control over the region isn't exactly going smoothly. So soon most of Tunisia falls, and the Ottoman forces in Africa are not really able to fight back much. Meanwhile, in the Balkans, the Ottoman armies actually make some advances. They manage to advance over the Danube and cross into Austrian territory, but they don't get far before French and Austrian troops kind of just blunt the offensive and even make it over into Serbia, invading Belgrade and attempting to capture the city, but forcing it into a siege instead. As for Wallachia and Moldavia, Wallachia decides to rebel against the Ottomans and join up with the French. They become a temporary Romanian authority, becoming the Romanian kingdom for now. Or rather, like, what do they call this place? Like, I don't know, they're just the Romanian kingdom for now. So yeah, they decide to, pull a funny and invade into Moldavia. They quickly capture the capital, and soon the Moldovan forces are effectively pushed back into surrendering. And with that, Romania now holds control over Romania and Moldavia. So Romanian forces push in across the Danube and encircle Dobruja. They capture this area along with the help of Ukraine, while French naval forces are battling with the Ottomans in the Black Sea. So meanwhile, Romanian forces with the help of Austrian, French and Ukrainian forces capture Varna and cross into Bulgaria. So yeah. Meanwhile, French forces in Illyria begin an attack in Bosnia towards Sarajevo, which succeeds, and then Austrian forces capture Belgrade and begin an advance to Niš. So by now in the war, it's around 1831 about. So the Battle of Varna and its subsequent aftermath ultimately results in Burgas being captured and much of the Bulgarian shores being captured. Meanwhile, the French armies that are advancing with Romanian troops begin advancing on Sofia, and they ultimately capture it. It's at this point that France decides to promise Romania control over Bulgaria, with Bulgaria being an autonomous duchy in exchange for Romania agreeing to be a full-time French ally, basically. So that works, and Romanian forces continue pushing in. Soon they almost reach the Aegean Sea, and soon they begin advances towards Constantinople. The Ottoman armies are actually able to push back here and push back all the way north, but still the situation is still quite dire for them. Montenegro also decides to break free of the rule of the Ottomans at this point. And it's at this point that French forces have fully crossed over the expanses of Egypt and stuff by around 1832, and have begun advances into Ottoman territory. They captured Damascus and quickly begin advances northwards. Their plans are to capture many of the major Turkish cities and then advance on Constantinople from there. So yeah, French forces advance across the Middle East, capturing Baghdad, and soon arrive in Kurdistan, capturing the main city of Kurdistan. So along with Adana being seized, the French forces advance around Turkey and reach Ankara. Like, as far as I know, I don't think Ankara really existed by this point in history. But I'm not too sure, so I'm just gonna say it does. So, yeah, with that, French forces reach the coastline, and other French forces land over here, and quickly link up and capture the remaining Ottoman garrisons. Yeah, the Ottoman Empire isn't doing well at this point. And it's at this point that the French launch a massive attack towards Constantinople. And with that, the city of the world's desire comes under siege. Along with this, the French and Romanian forces push back and are able to yet again encircle Constantinople. This siege lasts for about a year, lasting into 1835. Wait a minute. About 1836-ish, I think. So, the siege of Constantinople quickly begins to deteriorate for the Turks as they're pushed out of most of the outskirts. And ultimately, in mid-1836, they are forced to surrender. Along with this, Greek forces rebelled against the Turks, seizing power over several regions in southern Greece, and beginning to fight back against the Turkish occupations. Wait, no, the Ottoman occupations, sorry. So, Greek forces occupy Thessaloniki, and soon Greece strikes a deal with the Napoleonic order to become an ally of them in exchange for war with the Ottomans. So they, along with Montenegro, go to war with the Ottomans. So, yeah, the Ottomans, they're not doing too well. It's at this point that the French and Austrian forces capture Pristina, while Austrian forces advance in this area. Like, despite what the territory says, a lot of these advances are being pulled off by, like, French troops who are advancing with the armies of these countries. So, just keep that in mind. But yeah, so, French forces, they managed to advance to Montenegrin lines, while the Montenegrins, from their capital at Koplik, capture Podgorica and advance outwards. Soon, French forces advance and they link up with the Montenegrins. It's at this point that the Albanians have enough and break away from Turkish rule. Now the break-off of Albania is essentially the last straw for the Ottoman Balkan, as they are essentially pushed back. The Ottomans are completely pushed out of the Thessaloniki area, and Greek forces quickly advance along with Albanian rebels. They quickly capture all of this inner area, all of this area of Greece, and quickly Ottoman forces in the Balkans, which are effectively now limited, in this part at least, to the city of Skopje, are pushed back and ultimately captured. The fall of Skopje effectively leads to the collapse of the Ottoman Balkan. As with that, the war is effectively over in the Balkan. However, the advances continue to happen. Now, keep in mind, all of this Balkan stuff happens before the fall of Constantinople. So, basically, the fall of Constantinople is the last nail in the coffin for the whole Ottoman Empire. And with its fall, the Ottomans decide to sue for peace with France and their allies. So with that, let's take a look at the peace deal. Alright then, so as you can see, a lot has changed. First of all, let's start off with Africa. So yeah, all of Ottoman North Africa, apart from Libya, that's been made a part of Italy, is just a part of France now. Alright then, as you can see, the peace deal has been finished, and let's start off with Africa. So basically, all that's to this place is that France has annexed Algeria, Italy, Tunisia, with the exception of special French rights in this specific area, with a lot of French naval bases being around here. Basically like an early version of what America has in NATO countries today. And Libya is also Italian, but Egypt is a sort of French protectorate. As for over here, France annexed the Levant and southern Syria, and have turned it into like a colony area. And Cyprus is also a part of the French Empire now. Along with that, France is annexed Iraq, and while they are quote unquote going to return the land to Turkey as soon as the treaty expires, or not Turkey, the Ottomans, yeah, in reality they're never going to give it back. This is going to be a permanent part of the French Empire. So as for the Balkans, Greece became a country, and they got the Ionian Islands. Albania became a country. Montenegro expanded. French Illyria expanded greatly. Serbia became a country. Bulgaria became a duchy under the rule of the Romanian Kingdom, and that's about it on the Balkan front. And basically the Ottomans have just been reduced greatly to just like parts of northern Arabia, some borderlands on this area of the Balkan, and overall the Ottomans are just angry at France for losing to them. Also, France gets special rights to go through the Bosporus whenever they want, so that's good for them. So with that, I think that's all that we can really talk about here. Hope to see you in the next episode, and have a good day, and goodbye.